Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hidden Video Game Details, the series that aims to show you things that you may not have known about your favourite games so that you can look really clever in front of your friends. In today's episode, we magically transform spiders into cats in Satisfactory, we test the hearing of zombies in Left 4 Dead 2, and we catch a possum playing possum in Red Dead Redemption 2. As always, if you think you know of a detail that I'm yet to cover, then the best places to let me know are in the comment section or on my social media accounts. The links, as always, are in the description. Oh, and if you do go on to learn something new in this video, then leaving a like would be massively appreciated. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. So let's begin with Apex Legends. Apex Legends is somewhat of a regular in this series now, with its unique bullet spreads for certain weapons and the banter between its legends.
I hope you don't expect me to thank you.
Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
Well, the Apex Legends detail for today's video is something as simple as picking up a gun. Now of course, Apex is a battle royale game, so picking up a gun is something that you're going to be doing a lot of. But there is one legend, and gun in particular, that seem to have a special bond. So here is how every other legend picks up the 30-30 repeater. So a standard weapon pickup. Well, if you have Fuse selected as your legend, he will pick up the 30-30 like this. So Fuse will spin the 30-30 around with some serious pizzazz. Now, why Fuse does this, I don't know. Apparently the gun was made on the same planet that Fuse is from, but I wasn't able to confirm that, so if you know why he does this, then please let me know. Next up is the zombie slaying masterpiece that is Left 4 Dead 2, with a detail that left me amazed when I first saw it. During the Dead Air chapter, you have to make your way through a construction site, where you can find several zombies who were infected whilst at work. Talk about a bad day. This means that they're still in their work gear, with some of them still even wearing ear protectors. Now you may just think that these ear protectors are for show, a purely cosmetic detail, but you'd be wrong. When you throw a pipe bomb in Left 4 Dead 2, the beeping sound of the explosive will attract all nearby zombies. Actually, let me rephrase that. Nearly all. Allow me to demonstrate.
Fire in the hole! Grenade!
So the zombies wearing ear protectors won't react to the pipe bomb as they obviously can't hear it. As I said before, it's an amazing detail. Up next is the extremely addictive open world factory building game Satisfactory. Now, long-time subscribers will remember Satisfactory as the game that lets you do this. Well, it turns out that's not the only really cool thing hidden in Satisfactory. Arachnophobia is the fear of spiders and other arachnids, and it's a phobia that affects between 3.1 to 6.1% of people in the world. Now, that may seem like a relatively small amount, but it hasn't stopped the developers of Satisfactory adding a little comfort blanket of sorts for those who suffer with the phobia. And to be honest, it's probably a good thing, as the spiders in Satisfactory are terrifying. But do you know what the opposite of terrifying is? Cute, fluffy kittens. Well, if you head to the settings menu and enable arachnophobia mode, the nightmare spiders will become these little guys. So the arachnophobia mode is a really cool way to let people who suffer with arachnophobia play the game. And it's also a way to get cat lovers to play the game. It's a win-win. So in the last episode of this series, we discovered the secret behind the Fiend's ring exit after winning a match in WWE 2K20. And to be honest, I thought that was all there was to find in 2K20, but as usual, you guys proved me wrong. Now, a common tactic used by the bad guys, aka heels, in wrestling is removing the turnbuckle cover, exposing the steel underneath it. Well, if you choose to perform this underhanded move and the referee notices your cheating ways, he will do this.
Bang! Nice contact there.
Okay, so granted, the animations are hardly the smoothest I've ever seen, but don't forget, this is WWE 2K20, the game that was so buggy, 2K decided to skip a 2021 release altogether. So all things considered, I think this is pretty cool. Up next is The Sims 4 with a detail that is really cool. One of the many add-ons you can buy for The Sims is the Vampire Pack, which lets you create vampire Sims. The vampire Sims can coexist with normal human Sims, but there is something that may make things a little awkward. Here, allow me to demonstrate. So the vampire sim proves that the old myth about vampires not being able to look in the mirror is true, as he has no reflection, whilst the human sim of course does. I don't know why, but I really like this detail. The other Sims 4 detail is actually very funny. Allow me to introduce you to my sim named China Africa. Now, the more observant among you would realise that China is the name of a country and Africa is a continent. Well, if China Africa was to buy herself a fancy globe bar, you know, the globes with the drinks inside, then she would have the option to find her name on the globe. Just like the vampire detail, I really like this one. So to end today's video, let's take a look at the video game masterpiece that is Red Dead Redemption 2. The first Red Dead Redemption 2 detail for today's video can be seen when you're hunting possums. When approaching the four-legged furball, there is a chance that they may do this. So the possum will play dead until you try to pick it up, where it will then spring into life and try to make a getaway. You may have heard the saying, play possum, and this is where that saying comes from, as possums actually play dead in real life too. The next Red Dead 2 detail may not seem significant, but it goes to show just how much Rockstar care about even the smallest things. Have you tried shooting the tail of a wind pump? I mean, how many people do you think have shot this wind pump before? I'm guessing it's not many, and Rockstar knew it wouldn't be shot often, but they still went to the effort to make sure it moved if it was shot. The final detail from Red Dead 2 actually calls back to a detail we shared in a previous episode of this series. All the way back in episode 33, we discovered that the lake of Saint Denis was so polluted by nearby factories that the fish in the lake were all poisoned. Well, it turns out that the lake at Ansberg is worse. Not only does trash line the water's edge, but the fish here are also severely poisoned. That's not all. The water even has an oily layer on the surface, which would suggest that swimming in Ansberg is a big no-no. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. Don't forget to check out the awesome Helios 300 laptop using the link in the description. It really does help me out a lot. Remember, if you are a fan of Easter eggs, secrets, and tiny details in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.